You want to buy that house, you want to buy the things that you need to buy in order to live your version of the American dream, but you don't have enough money in your account. My friend, it's time for a raise. Today, I'm going to show you how you can get a raise by improving the customer experience at your company. The companies with the best customer experience are able to sell the highest quality products and services. The highest quality products and services have the highest margin when you think about profit margin. The companies that are able to sell the highest quality products and services at the highest margins are able to generate more revenue than the competition. The companies that are able to generate more revenue by selling the highest quality products and services are able to create more profits than their competition. The companies that are able to generate the most profits have the most money available to offer raises and bonuses to their employees. They're able to offer better compensation packages for the people who are the top performers. And so it is such a great idea, such a great career strategy to make sure that you are involved in improving the customer experience at your company if you want to get that raise. It's not going to be easy. I've talked before about how important it is, regardless of where you sit in your company, to make sure you're able to draw a direct line between what you're doing and the revenue that your company is producing, or the products that they are creating, or the services that they are delivering. We're going to build off of that so that you can use the information that I share with you today in order to get a raise. As a technology consultant that specializes in customer relationship management, I'm going to tell you what I have seen working at one of the big four accounting firms in the world and serving my own clients. I'm going to share with you what I've seen works with professionals like you and how you can get a raise. The first thing that you want to do is, if you're not already involved, I want you to volunteer or get involved with the profit making centers at your company, the profit making departments, the departments that are directly contributing to bringing in the revenue that your company needs in order to survive. I also want you to begin getting involved and begin researching your company's customer relationship management system. For those of you that don't know, this is the system that all your client information gets fed into. It's the system that your salespeople, your marketing people will reference and report on. It's the system that is able to predict the revenues that you're going to be receiving this year, this quarter, this month, this week. All of the sales transactions are recorded in your customer relationship management system. I want you to get involved with it. And don't just get involved with it as a user. Get to know your technical team. Learn how to administer it. Learn what they're doing to maintain it. Learn what they're doing to enhance it. By getting involved with the technical aspects of your customer relationship management system, it's going to allow you to see your business from a different light, a different perspective. You'll be able to look at data a little bit differently. You'll be able to see the pipeline that your customers have to go through in order to make that sale. You'll be able to see the pain points and the challenges that are inherent. You'll be able to see where along that pipeline that most of your customers or most of your prospective clients, you'll be able to see where most of them fall out of the pipeline. Pay close attention to the challenges. Pay close attention to the things that require a lot of time to do. Think about how you can, in your role, volunteer some of your time to learn how to maintain it, learn how to operate it, and also learn how to enhance it. Your technical team is probably already working on some enhancements. Get involved with that enhancement process. If you have a couple of minutes out of your day, meet with them, do an informational interview. If you can volunteer to help out or get an account, and you can volunteer to work on the customer relationship management application, do that as well. Many times your customer relationship management system is going to have some sort of certification program or some sort of professional development program. Make sure that you earn your certifications and get that technical experience, especially when you're early in your career. That is something that's going to be able to stay with you throughout your entire career. As you move up into management and executive roles, you'll be able to have that technical skill set, or you'll be able to have that technical certification that many of your peers are not going to have. Once you get involved, and once you volunteer, and once you have integrated yourself into the customer relation management system, begin thinking of ways that you can improve it. Many times when we think about customers that have a horrible experience during the sales process and onboarding process, many of it relates to disorganized sales teams, disorganized marketing teams, siloed operations. It often involves the mishandling or the disorganization of data. The mishandling or disorganization of data affects teams because it makes teams, marketing and sales and operations teams, it makes them struggle when it comes time to coordinate on closing a major opportunity. It's hard if you're on the operations side to improve the quality of the product or improve the quality of the service if the sales team is not communicating to you what the customers are asking and what the customers' pain points are with your product or service. The sales teams, along with making sales, they should be getting that information about who your competitors are, what your competitors are offering. They should be collecting as much information about the potential client as possible, putting it into the customer relationship management system so that everyone in your company and everyone on your team can use that information in order to deliver higher quality products and higher quality services, which will essentially drive up your revenue and your profit. The marketing team also has a role to play as well. And so get to know how the marketing team uses the customer relationship management system, how your sales team uses the customer relationship management system, and how your operations team is using the customer relationship management system. Once you identify how they're using it, identify the pain points that marketing is experiencing, that sales is experiencing, and that operations is experiencing. Prioritize your pain points. So you can put together a PowerPoint deck, you can put together a white paper, you can create a one pager, but put together your findings and share those findings with your immediate manager and let them know that you would like to work on an initiative to solve some of the problems that are affecting the customer experience. Most likely, they're going to tell you, yes, go ahead and do it. They're going to give you their blessing, especially if you're doing a good job at your primary duty, your primary job. In the time that you have available, they'll allow you to work a little bit extra on this particular initiative, which is improving the customer experience by enhancing the customer relationship management system. Once you get approval from that, take 10, 15 minutes every single day, 30 minutes even every single day, and work on that initiative. You want to meet with the marketing team. You want to meet with the sales team. You want to meet with the operations team. It don't take a lot of their time, but make sure that you are clear on documenting what their problem is, who the users are, how many people are affected, how much time is being wasted, how much revenue is being missed, what opportunities are being lost. Make sure that you do a good job of documenting the problem and who is affected by that problem. After you document the problem and who is affected by the problem, start identifying solutions. You don't have to come up with all the solutions yourself in order to improve your customer relationship management system. You can talk to the marketing team, you can talk to the sales team, and they'll give you ideas of the different solutions that are going to work for them. Sometimes it's going to involve more automation. Sometimes it's going to involve an integration and bringing more information into the system by some sort of automated way. Sometimes it's going to involve putting a front end or doing something to modernize the front end application or the front end web page. Sometimes it's going to involve creating some sort of a community where your current customers and your prospective customers, as well as your alumni or the people who are working in your team and in your company, it may involve creating a community for all of them to get together and collaborate on different things and ask questions in a more organic way. Sometimes it's going to involve integrating a new technology. and setting up some sort of chatbot or AI agent or some additional new cutting edge feature that you can offer your customers that your competition hasn't yet got into yet. But identify the solution, identify whatever that enhancement is. The next thing that you're going to want to do is scope it. So once you have the problem, once you have the solution, you want to begin scoping it. You want to find out how many people is it going to take, how many people per week, how many hours per week is it going to take, and how many weeks will you need in order to bring to life that new enhancement. You want to find out how many people it's going to take, how much time it's going to take, and if there's money involved with respect to purchasing an application or purchasing a license or a subscription. You want to find out how much money it's going to take for the initial setup, as well as how much money it's going to take over a 5-year period. Once you have the people, once you have the time, and once you have the money involved, you essentially have everything that you need for a proposal. So put that in a one pager, put that in a PowerPoint deck, put that in a Word document, and present your proposal to your manager, your management team. Make sure that you get sign off, or at least make sure you socialize it with the marketing, the sales, and the operations. And what you will end up doing is you'll present it to them and say, hey, after meeting with them over the last month, this is the problem. This is the solution. This is the project proposal that is going to solve this problem. This is the gains that we're going to get from it. And this is the commitment that I'm going to need with respect to resources, time, and money. If you did your job correctly, it will be an easy case to make because the investment in people, time, and money is going to generate an extraordinary amount of returns on your investment. That return on your investment, when you present it to your manager, is going to be something that is so compelling that they'll be able to share with their management, with their executive, and you'll get the approval and the buy-in that you need across the entire company. Now, as I have to warn you, as you submit that proposal and it begins working its way through the organization, there's going to be some people who see it and they're going to want to put their name on it. They're going to want to take ownership of it. And you, depending on where you are in your career and where you are in the organization, there may be someone that they designate to be the leader of it, to be the champion of it, to be the manager of it. And there'll also be like a team that they assign depending on how big the proposal is. There's going to be a team that they assign to help you with it. Don't get your ego too much in the way of the decisions that are being made about the proposal that you presented. Don't get too hurt if you don't get chosen as the leader of it or the manager of it or the person that is the champion of it. Submit it to your management, to the executive team as just that. Submit it to them as a proposal. You don't have to worry about who gets assigned to be the leader or the manager or the champion of it because you have all of the knowledge. All the knowledge is organically inside you. And you'll be able, just like you created this proposal, you'll be able to create multiple proposals, and you have intimate knowledge of the problem, the solution, and the resources that you're going to need in order to solve that solution. So your position in the company is not going to be threatened, even though someone else may begin leading the project or the initiative. You'll always be that informal leader just because you've been working out longer than anybody else. When you do this, make sure you execute. Make sure that you do your current job, but also you execute this additional initiative. Most people can take on 1 to 3 additional initiatives when they are doing their primary job. It's just a matter of becoming more efficient at your primary job. And while you're more efficient, you can save that time to do other initiatives that will help you get promoted and help you get a raise. Do the initiative. Make sure that you document the steps and the lessons learned. Make sure that you drive the project either as a formal leader or as an informal leader. Make sure you drive that solution home with respect to to enhancing the customer relationship management system and improving the customer experience at your company. Make sure you document the number of opportunities that you're able to influence and win with this new solution. Make sure you document the time that is saved. Make sure you document the resources that were invested, because you want to be able to make the case that with an X amount of investment, you're able to achieve a high return on that investment. Depending on how well you document will depend on how strong of a case you're going to be able to make to get your raise into and get your promotion and get moved up to the next level. You don't have to tell everybody that you're documenting it, but definitely once you get the the proposal written up and the qualification updated, once you document the result of the initiative, you're going to show that result or show that documentation to your management team, and you're going to ask if you can present it at a much larger forum or a much larger meeting. Sometimes that's going to involve presenting the winnings or the update or the successes of the project at your monthly meeting. Sometimes it might be at a quarterly meeting, but or it could be at your annual leadership meeting. It just depends on what size forum is available when you're ready to present the findings or the result of your success in enhancing the customer relationship management system. Everyone at the company, from the senior executives to the new hires, they're all going to want to hear the good news that and the good things that you have been working on over the last 3 to 6 months, or however long your project was. When you do that, when you present it, make sure you give credit to everyone who was involved in the process, from the earliest stages of you trying to figure out what the problem was to the last stages of people testing the final solution. You give credit to everyone, and then at the end of the day, as you are reporting the outputs of your final solution and your final project, as you report those things and you're giving credit to everyone who was involved, let them know how big of a big deal it is and how much they impacted the bottom line of the company and the top line. So how much revenue they were able to generate and how much profit they were able to create just by working on the initiative, by being a part of the initiative. The more praise and more acknowledgement that you give to the people on your team will, and you don't even have to say it, but it will shine very bright on your contributions, because everyone will know that every single person that you called out was part of the process in their own way, but you were part of the process from the beginning. And so you can it's not subconsciously, but you can make the case intuitively to the executives and to the senior management, to the people at your company. You can make the case intuitively to them that you are ready for a raise or ready for a promotion. Let them know that you are very happy to deliver so much value in such a short period of time. Let them know that you are very happy with the effective and the efficient use of the resources that the company had trusted in you. Let them know that you had a pleasure working with such a large team across multiple departments and multiple organizations in your company. Make sure that you let them know that you found a lot of joy in taking the initiative, that you found a lot of joy in learning from all the mentors that provided you advice. Let them know that you were happy with the management team, you were happy with the executive leadership. Let them just heap a whole bunch of praise on everyone when you're presenting in a big forum. After you present in a big forum, meet with your management team, meet with your manager, and ask them for any feedback that they can provide you that you can use in order to either move up to another level or to put yourself in a good position to get a raise. If your management has been paying attention to all of your updates that you've been sending and they are paying attention to the result of this extra initiative, your manager is probably not going to have very much to share with you as far as things that you can improve. So go up to his manager, go up to their manager and ask them, like, hey, I just want to like figure this out. Is there anything that I can do in order, in the time that I have remaining in my performance year, in order in order to better make the case that I am ready for a raise or ready for a promotion. Their manager and their manager's manager they'll talk most likely, and they'll decide. They'll say, you know what, you've done everything that you could do. You're fine. Or they'll say, hey, we want you to work on one, two, three. Your manager may not have anything to say, but ask your manager's manager, and they might have some insight on how raises are given out and how they're earned, and how positions are given out and how they're earned. Your manager may not have the ability to promote you because your next promotion may be on their level, but your manager's manager may have the opportunity to promote you, because when you move up, you're not going to be moving up and out of their, I guess it's like their sphere of management, or sphere of leadership. So your manager's manager may actually have a more accurate read on what your promotion and what your raise will look like, and what additional things you need to do. You can make the case that you've just completed an amazing project that generated X amount of revenue, that generated X amount of profit, that didn't use a whole bunch of resources, and that has provided great value across your company. And just, you can give them all the information, give your manager's manager all the information that you've collected, and the output of it, so that when they get ready to make the case for your raise or your promotion, they have all the correct information. Update your LinkedIn, update your resume, update your social media. Make sure that you share your win. If you got to write a press release, write a press release. If you need to call a reporter and put it in a magazine, put it in a magazine. But the idea is to document your success. And you can document your success or get it published, and publish it in such a way where, hey, this is something that my company has done that is amazing, that is leading the industry. All you need to do is put your name associated with it, like article by, or research by, or project by, or managed by, and put your name. If your company doesn't get you the promotion, or doesn't give you a raise, or doesn't give you the raise that you've earned based on the value that you created, you will be able to get other offers from competitors that will be higher than the money that your company is currently paying you. Once you get those offers in hand, because you've just done something great, it's been published, it has great visibility. Once you get those offers in hand, you can take them to your HR department, you can take them to your manager, and you can say, hey, look, I want to stay with you all. I did great work here. However, I would like to do something, or I would like an update to be made, or a reconsideration about the compensation that I'm receiving, since I delivered so much value this last performance year. There's a lot of people out there that want to hire me and want me to do the same thing that I did here over there. And their offers are 10, 20, 30, 40, however many percentage more than what I'm making now. Is there anything that you all can do in order to make it make sense from a compensation perspective for me to stay? I have not seen in my career an HR department or an executive, when they're presented with the receipts that, hey, this is a person that delivered X amount of value, they have other offers from our competitors. I have not seen an executive or HR department turn down that raise or that promotion from that person, because they know from a financial perspective, they've already generated the value. Now it's just a matter of, do they know their own value? And once you have the letters in hand, you are showing them that not only did I generate the value, but I also know my value in the marketplace. And I would like to stay here, but I understand if you guys don't have it or your priorities are different, I'm more than willing to do what I did here somewhere else. And whether or not you stay, or they offer you the raise or not, you are going to get a raise. It just may not be at your company that you're currently working at, but it may be at a competitor, or maybe in another city, or maybe in another industry, but you will eventually get that raise. And it all started out with you improving the customer experience at your company. Now, it's not easy to do a complete enhancement or a complete digital transformation of a customer relationship management system. So if you need to get a consultant like myself, engage a consultant like myself. If you need to get a firm to come on board and do a full implementation, we can help you with that. But the idea is identify a problem, research and assess what the solution is going to be, scope out that solution, make a proposal, get that project kicked off, execute it, collect the data, collect all the information that you need, and then turn it into a success story. Make sure you publish that success story, not just internally, but also externally. Make sure that you update your resume, your LinkedIn, your socials. Make sure that you publish it as and your company probably has a public affairs department. Make sure you publish it as a company win. Do all of that before you ask for a raise. And then make sure that you're applying to jobs at other competitors and letting them know, hey, this is what I just accomplished. Once you get that offer in hand, go back to your management team and say, hey, look, I'm getting these offers. Is there something that you all can do? And many times we'll say, hey, we can't do it this year, but next year we'll take care of you. So be patient. Give your company time to react to the successes that you're achieving in your career. There's a lot of great things that you're going to be doing. And if you don't give your company an opportunity to react, you may miss out on an opportunity to be a part of a great company with great culture, with your great friends that will actually empower you as you move along your professional career. Now, I would like to say that everything that I said right now, I would like to say, it's all going to be easy, but it's not going to be easy. Anytime that you try to do something good, there's going to be someone standing next to you to try to tell you to not do it. Every time that you say, hey, I have a good idea, like I want to do X, Y, and Z to improve the customer experience. I feel like our forms are too long, our applications are too clunky, the website is not optimized. Each time you try to say something like that, there's going to be someone out there who's going to stand right next to you and say, you know what? There's nothing that needs to change. We've already made our numbers this year. We're going to make our numbers next year. We don't need to improve the customer experience. We should just be happy with what it is. Anytime you start talking about progress, there's going to be someone that is standing next to you to tell you to be complacent. Each time you tell people, hey, it's time to run. It's time to go out there and do it. There's going to be someone standing next to you to say, you know what, we should walk, or we should just stand right here. Everywhere you go in life, if you're trying to move up, there's going to be someone telling you to stay right there in your place. I know because I know who these people are. My entire career, my entire professional life, I know who these people are. These are the people who would borrow pencils from me in school and they wouldn't give them back. These are the people who would wait till they're a part of my group project and then they wouldn't do their work in high school. They wouldn't do their work. They're part of the group project. So I would have to do their work in order to get an okay grade. These are the people who professionally in the military and as a consultant at one of the big 4 accounting firms in the world, these are the people that would be working on the team, but they would not do their fair share of the work. And they would take credit for the work that the team had done together. There are people who will lie. There are people who will cheat. There are people who will steal. These people, they have one personality trait in common. They're all lazy. And I have been at war with lazy people my entire life. I've just been one of those people that believes that if I work hard, I'll achieve success, and the success will allow me to earn the things that I need, what I need to earn in order to buy the things that I need to buy, in order to live my version of the American dream. And I have been at war with people who wanted to profit from my hard work and my labor, who wanted to take advantage of my kindness and my generosity. I have been at war with lazy people my entire life. And guess what? They come from every demographic area, every different demographic section. They come from every social economic level. They come from They live in small towns and big cities. They have every ethnicity. It doesn't matter what their religion is. There are lazy people all across our society that take advantage of good people, overachievers, hard workers, people who mean well, people who want to make a difference, people who want to grow their career, people who want to get ahead. There's people out there who are trying to take advantage of the people who want to create a legacy. There's people out there who try to take advantage of our kindness. They all have one thing in common. They're all lazy. And I didn't like them back when I was a kid. I don't like lazy people today. And I'm sure as I continue to create a legacy for myself and for my family, as I continue to get ahead, I'm not going to like them in the future, because they are the people who, when you get ready to move up, or you tell people, hey, I want to get a raise, or I want to go to school, or I want to do some professional development, they're the people who discourage you. And what's crazy is they may tell you that, you don't need to improve the customer experience. They'll tell you you don't need to do that in order to get a raise. You don't They'll tell you that, but they're not there that they're not going to sit next to you when you don't get a raise this year. They're not going to sit there and comfort you and give you words of encouragement and words of affirmation. They're not going to remotivate you and inspire you when you're feeling career burnout because you didn't move up as fast as you wanted to move up in your career. They're not going to be there to pay for your family vacation. They're not going to be there to pay for your car. They're not going to be there to pay for your house. They're not going to be there to buy the things that you need to buy to live your version of the American dream. The people who are lazy, who convince you not to do the things that you need to do in order to move up, they don't offer any help to you. They're not carrying any of your water. The only thing that they're doing is demotivating you. That's their only purpose. They're lazy. Laziness is a disease. I talk about it a lot. It's something that makes brothers not act like brothers, sisters not act like sisters. It's something that makes coworkers not act like coworkers, friends don't act like friends. Why? Because they're lazy. It makes mothers not act like mothers, fathers not act like fathers. There's children that don't act like children because they're lazy. There's students that don't act like students. There's workers who don't act like workers. There's managers that don't act like managers. There's executives that don't act like executives. Why? Because they're lazy. They don't want to work. If you give them an option of earning a living or stealing a living, they'll say, I'd rather steal the living. If you give them an option of saying, hey, you can earn a living, or you can lie to live the same way that you can live if you earned it, they'll say, I'd rather lie to get ahead. If you tell them, hey, you can earn a living and you can feel good about the things that you have in your life, and you can feel the joy and the fulfillment of earning something, or if you say, or you know what you can do, you can cheat to live the same quality of life, they'll say, I'd rather cheat for it. That's how they are. They're lazy. Like it's almost like they don't get any benefit. They don't feel any joy. They don't feel any fulfillment. They don't feel anything happening in their soul when they work towards something, earn something, achieve something that most people think is impossible. They don't have that feeling of satisfaction of earning something. They're lazy. Who else? Who else do you think is responsible? They clearly cause so much damage. Who else do you think is responsible for the fact that our national debt is increasing every single year? Yeah, we've been more productive than we've ever been in the history of our country. Who else do you think is responsible? The people who are lazy. Who else do you think is responsible for the fact that our infrastructure is not being modernized, that we're not building high-speed trains, that we're so complacent, we're not building new airports? We haven't built a major city in our country in over a century. Complacency, being lazy. They cause so much damage. Who else do you think is responsible for the fact that our companies are having a hard time competing with companies that are headquartered in other countries? Who else do you think is responsible for the persistent problems that we see in our education system, where so many people have to take out student loans? Who else do you think is responsible for the problems that we see in our healthcare system? People who are lazy. They infect everything. They make it almost impossible for you to achieve your goals. Why? They discourage you. They demotivate you. They don't inspire you. They convince you that you should accept less from yourself and less from life. They expect you. They convince you that you should expect less from your team. That you should expect less from your company. You should expect less from society. They're lazy. They're allergic to work. We're not afraid of work, but they're allergic to work. Who else do you think is responsible for the problems that we see in our society where men, women, and children of every ethnicity are not able to create relationships and live together? Who else is responsible for the problems that we see in our community? People who are lazy. They see the problems and they don't want to fix them. They know the solutions are going to have to take work to do. They know they're going to have to work. They know they're going to have to sacrifice. They know they're going to have to fight, and they don't want to do any of that stuff because they're lazy. But we're not afraid to do it. We're not afraid to work for something. We're not afraid to sacrifice for something. We're not afraid to fight for something. These people that are lazy, who else do you think is responsible for the fact that we don't feel the joy and the fulfillment and the happiness and the peace that we're supposed to feel on a daily basis? Who else finds ways to rob our joy? People who are lazy. They know that it takes work for us to feel joy. They know that we have to do things that give us positive social interactions. They know that we have to do things that don't just exercise our body and exercise our minds, but we need to also exercise our emotions, and we need to exercise our soul and our spirit. They know all of that takes work. They're lazy. Who else is responsible for the individual problems that we see where we're not able to achieve our personal and professional goals? Who else is responsible for the divorce rates? I know it takes work to get a relationship together. I know it takes work to have a happy marriage. I know it takes work to have a happy family. But the people who are lazy don't think it takes any work. And if it does take work, they'll run away. They don't want to do the work. They're the reason why the divorce rate is so high. They're the reason why so many men and women are not able to live their lives together. They're the reason why so many children are being raised without two parents in the home to teach them, to nurture them, to maintain them, to raise them, to develop them. They're the reason why our children are not able to have the education that they need in their home. They're not able to have the foundation, the emotional foundation, the spiritual foundation that they need to become the adults that they were born to be. People who are lazy, they don't want to work. They don't want to work on relationships. It's come to the point now where, and I was just thinking about this, people who are lazy, I'll tell you, they find a way to maintain their career, but when it comes time to work on their relationship, they're not able to work on their relationship and stay in a healthy relationship. And there's something that is happening here. It's like, all right, you're able to maintain a career for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. People have been working for 60 years in the economy. But we're not able to maintain a relationship with a man or a woman for 60 years. Why is that? It's because so many men and women have been convinced that their personal relationship, that their husband or their wife should not be integrated, should not work together with them in their career or in their profession or in their business. They think that their marriage should be separate from their work. And I understand if you want to make that decision, okay, it is what it is. But there's something to the fact that so many people are able to maintain a career for 40 years, but they're not able to maintain a family for 40 years. It's because some of us, when it comes time to our career, we're going to go to work and we're going to earn the money. But when it comes time to building a relationship, people get lazy. You don't want to work on integrating into your husband's career. You don't want to work on integrating yourself into your wife's career. You don't want to work on making sure that your children feel a part of the family business. You don't want to work on making sure that your children are getting the education and the training that they need in order to become the adults that they need to be. It takes work to do all of that. And some people are lazy. I just have to say it. Some people are lazy. They don't want to do any work. I would rather go to work and pay money for a therapist than go home and work it out with my wife or my husband. I'd rather go to work and earn money and buy my wife a car than sit and have a conversation with her and work out her emotions. I'd rather go to work and buy my husband a new tool or a new toy than sit down and have a conversation with him about my emotions and how I treat him as a wife. There's so many people out there who would rather purchase a solution than do the work that they need. People are lazy. I just gotta say it, people are lazy. I believe that 10% of the population is truly lazy. The rest of them are just being influenced. And it's important for people like me and you, if we are being influenced by people who are truly lazy, that we got to get away from those people. We can't listen to those people. Those people will bring us down. Those people will convince us that what we're doing is wrong. They'll convince us that we're crazy. They'll convince you that you shouldn't try to be more successful than you are. They'll convince you that the system is rigged and there's nothing that you can do about it. They'll convince you that there's a glass ceiling, and when you break the glass ceiling, they'll tell you that you can't survive up there because there's not enough oxygen where you're trying to go. They will give you every excuse in the book because they're lazy. And your success, your achievements, your work ethic is an indictment on the fact that they are lazy and they don't have it in them. They don't have the motivation. They don't have the inspiration. They don't have the calling. They have not been chosen. They are not on your path. They do not have your potential. They are not a leader. They don't want to be a leader. They don't have your drive. They don't have your focus. They don't have your determination. They don't have your intelligence. They don't have your creativity, and they don't know your potential. Why? They are lazy. Don't listen to the people who are lazy. If you listen to the people that are lazy, if you conversate with them, if you communicate with them, if you're in a relationship with them, they will stop you from being the man or woman that you were born to be. You were born to be a leader. You were born to be a formal leader. You were born to be an informal leader, but you were born to make an impact. And you cannot listen to the people who are lazy. You cannot follow their advice because they do not want you to make an impact, because they know that if you make an impact, it means that you're willing to put in the work, and they are not willing to put in the work. They would rather be miserable with their problems than solve them, because solving them takes work. You cannot trust those people. You can't work with those people. People who are truly lazy, you can't trust them. You will never get a raise. You'll never be able to improve the customer experience. You'll never be able to improve the customer relationship management system. You'll never be able to enhance it. You'll never be able to finish a project. Why? Because they're lazy. They will join your team and they won't put in the work. They will do more to stop you from achieving the goals that you have set out for yourself professionally than help you. They're lazy. You would have to carry them. And you don't have enough strength to become the person that you are born to be, and then also carry somebody on your back toward your dreams, especially when they don't want to go to work. They'll say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, that's what happens when someone is lazy. You can lead them to water. You can pour it in a bucket. You can bring them there. You can put their face right next to it. But if they don't want to drink because they're lazy, it's all wasted effort. Don't listen to them. The things that you want to do in your life, talking about getting a raise, building your career, going on that vacation, buying that car, purchasing that house, buying the things that you need to purchase in order to live your version of the American dream, it's going to take work, but you can do it. Everything that you want in your life, you can have if you're willing to work for it. All your dreams that you want to live, they can be yours if you're willing to sacrifice for it. Every single thing that you want in your life and all the dreams that you have, you can experience them and you can get them if you're willing to fight for it. But you're not going to find the motivation and the inspiration to work, sacrifice, and fight for your dreams if you listen to the people who are lazy. So do not listen to the people who are lazy. Listen to me. Do not follow the people who are lazy. Follow me. I know what it means to live your dreams. I know what it means in order to purchase the things that you need to purchase in order to live your version of the American dream. I know what it means in order to do the things that you need to do in order to get that raise. I know what it means to work for something. I know what it means to sacrifice for something. I know what it means to fight for something. There's going to be times in your life when you're not going to feel like working, but you're going to have to work. There's going to be times in your life when you do not feel like sacrificing, but you're going to have to sacrifice. There's going to be times in your life when you don't want to fight, but you're going to have to fight. And it's that resilience, it's that determination, it's that ability to ignore the people who are lazy and all the things that they tell you to do and stay focused on the things that you need to do in order to live your dreams. You can do it. If you're willing to work for it, if you're willing to sacrifice for it, if you're willing to fight for it, go out and do the things that you need to do in order to get that raise and go live your dreams. And don't listen to those people who are lazy. Don't let them distract you. Go out and get it. I look forward to talking to you again in the next video. Thank you.